Nadia huddled deeper into her thin jacket, the evening chill of autumn seeping through the worn fabric. 3 weeks in this foreign city, and still nowhere to call home. The last of her money had disappeared into a landlord's pocket who had promised housing but delivered only empty words. Now, the bench in this quiet park was the closest thing to a bed she had. The melancholy notes of a guitar floated through the air, drawing her attention to a man seated beneath a lamppost. His fingers danced across the strings, coaxing beautiful music that seemed at odds with his weathered appearance. A few coins glinted in the open guitar case before him. When the song ended, Nadia found herself applauding softly. The musician looked up, his warm brown eyes meeting hers. "Enjoyed that, did you?" he asked with a gentle smile. "I'm Dominic." "Nadia," she replied, her accent heavy on her tongue. "Your music. It reminds me of home." Dominic studied her face, noting the shadows beneath her eyes, the way she clutched her small backpack protectively. He had seen that look before in the mirror years ago. "Where's home?" he asked, packing up his guitar. "Nowhere now," she answered truthfully. Dominic nodded, understanding more than she realized. "Hungry? I know a place." Suspicion flared in Nadia's eyes. Men offering things always wanted something in return. "Just food," he clarified, reading her expression. "The community center runs a dinner program. No questions asked." Her stomach growled, making the decision for her. She followed him through streets that gradually shifted from manicured parks to more modest neighborhoods. The community center was a simple building with warm lights and the scent of hot food wafting from open doors. Inside, volunteers served hearty stew and bread. Dominic greeted several by name, introducing Nadia simply as a friend. No one questioned her presence or asked for identification, a mercy she hadn't expected. "You come here often?" she asked between grateful spoonfuls. Dominic's smile held no judgment. "I volunteer when I can. I lived on those same streets for 2 years after I lost everything. Someone helped me. Now I help when I can." As they ate, he explained the city's shelter systems, the community resources available. Nadia listened intently, memorizing every detail. "Tonight, though," he said, "there's a hostel 2 blocks over that keeps emergency beds. The manager owes me a favor." Nadia stiffened. "I don't need charity." "It's not charity," Dominic replied. "It's humanity. When you're back on your feet, you'll do the same for someone else." Something in his words, in the quiet dignity with which he spoke, melted Nadia's resistance. For the first time since arriving in this cold city, she felt a spark of hope. One night, she agreed. "Then I find my own way." Dominic smiled, recognizing the pride behind her words. "One night," he echoed. "That's how all new beginnings start. Broken trusts." The one night at the hostel stretched into 3, then a week. Each morning, Nadia would leave determined to find her path alone. Yet somehow by evening, she found herself meeting Dominic at the park where he played. Their conversations grew longer, more personal, unfurling like cautious flowers opening to the sun. "I was a teacher," she revealed one evening as they shared a bench overlooking the river. "Literature and languages. My students were everything to me." "What happened?" Dominic asked, his voice gentle. Nadia's fingers twisted together. "War came. Then men with lists of names, intellectuals, those who taught dangerous ideas, freedom, equality." She swallowed hard. "My brother helped me escape. He stayed behind." Dominic didn't offer empty consolations. Instead, he shared his own story, how a business partner had betrayed him. "I trusted completely," he admitted. "Lost everything because I never questioned, never looked beyond his smile and handshake." When rain began to fall, they took shelter under the awning of a closed cafe. The downpour intensified, trapping them in their makeshift sanctuary, shoulders touching as they huddled away from the spray. "Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever trust again," Nadia whispered, watching sheets of rain transform the world outside. "You trusted me enough to follow me that first night," Dominic pointed out. "Brave of you." Their eyes met and something shifted between them, a recognition of shared wounds, of resilience despite betrayal. Dominic reached out, hesitantly tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. His touch was light, questioning. "I was desperate," she countered, but a small smile softened her words. "Desperate, but not foolish," he corrected. "You're the strongest person I've met, Nadia." The rain created a curtain around them, an intimate world of two. When his hand found hers, their fingers intertwined naturally, a silent acknowledgement of something growing between them. Later, he walked her to the hostel, both of them drenched, despite sharing his jacket over their heads. At the entrance, Nadia paused. "Oh, the hostel manager found me work," she said. "Kitchen help at a restaurant. I start tomorrow." Dominic's face lit with genuine pleasure. "That's wonderful." "It's because of you," she admitted. "Your kindness when I had nothing." Standing on tiptoe, she pressed a soft kiss to his cheek, her lips warm against his rain-chilled skin. Before he could respond, she disappeared inside. But not before he caught the blush spreading across her face as sunrise, after the longest night. Walking home, Dominic touched his cheek where her lips had been, smiling despite the rain. Both carried wounds from those who had shattered their trust, yet here they were, risking heartbreak again. Perhaps that was the greatest act of courage, to remain open to connection, despite knowing how much it could hurt. The restaurant work left Nadia exhausted but fulfilled. Each day brought new vocabulary, small triumphs, and the dignity of earned money. After 2 weeks, she secured a tiny room in a boarding house, cramped but entirely hers. "I want to show you something," Dominic said one Sunday morning, her precious day off. "Something special." He led her through unfamiliar streets to a high brick wall covered in ivy. A hidden door, nearly invisible among the greenery, opened to his touch. Behind it lay an unexpected paradise, an abandoned lot transformed into a community garden. Fruit trees created dappled shade over flowering plants and neat vegetable beds. At the center stood a small pavilion draped with climbing roses. "Welcome to the secret garden," Dominic said, watching her amazed expression with pleasure. "A few of us started it 5 years ago. Everyone said nothing would grow here." Nadia wandered through paths lined with herbs, touching leaves and petals with reverent fingers. "It's magical," she breathed, "like something from a story." Throughout the day, other gardeners arrived, an elderly couple, a young family, teenagers escaping troubled homes. Each welcomed Nadia without reservation. They shared a communal lunch under the pavilion, a patchwork of dishes from different cultures. As afternoon faded to evening, only Nadia and Dominic remained. Sitting close on a bench surrounded by evening primroses opening to the dusk. "Thank you for bringing me," she said softly. "For sharing this." Their fingers found each other's, intertwining like the vines around them. When he leaned closer, she met him halfway. Their first kiss, gentle as butterfly wings. Deepening as her arms slipped around his neck, the sanctuary embraced their newfound intimacy, sheltering them as they explored this fragile, hopeful thing between them. His hands traced the curve of her back with reverence. Her fingers memorized the contours of his face. "Nadia," he whispered against her lips, "I never expected you." They might have remained longer, but sudden shouts from beyond the wall shattered their haven. Blue lights flashed, visible above the bricks. Immigration enforcement, Dominic realized, alarm filling his eyes. "They're doing a sweep." Fear froze Nadia's blood. Her temporary protection status was still pending, her documentation incomplete. Discovery meant detention, possibly deportation. "There's a back way," Dominic said urgently, guiding her toward a hidden corner of the garden. Through the abandoned storehouse, as they hurried through shadows, footsteps approached the garden's main entrance. The gate creaked, voices called out official warnings. At the garden's edge, Dominic revealed another concealed door. "Go straight through, then left at the alley. It leads to the main street." "Come with me," she pleaded. "We'll create a distraction," he promised, pressing a key into her palm. "My apartment. Wait for me there." Their goodbye kiss held desperation and promise. Then she was gone, slipping into darkness while Dominic returned to face the authorities. His heart racing with fear, not for himself, but for the woman who had unexpectedly captured it. Shadows of the past 3 days passed without word from Dominic. Nadia paced his small apartment, alternating between hope and despair. News reports detailed the immigration sweep, mentioning detained individuals with uncertain status. Each hour stretched like years. On the fourth morning, a knock startled her from restless sleep. Not Dominic's familiar pattern, but 3 sharp raps. Peering through the peephole, she saw a woman with kind eyes and streaked gray hair. "I'm Alina," the woman explained when Nadia cautiously opened the door. "Dominic's attorney. He asked me to find you." Over tea at Elena's office, the situation unfolded. Dominic hadn't been detained, but he'd been questioned extensively about the garden's occupants. "He wouldn't reveal your situation," Alina explained, "but the authorities are investigating everyone associated with that community now." "This is my fault," Nadia whispered. "No," Elena countered firmly. "The system is broken. But there might be a path forward. Your background as an educator fleeing political persecution qualifies you for asylum." Hope flickered, but doubt quickly extinguished it. "Without proper documentation? Impossible." Elena's smile held determination. "Not impossible. Difficult. Dominic has rallied the entire garden community. They're collecting testimonials, evidence of your integration and contributions." That evening, finally permitted to see Dominic, Nadia rushed into his arms. Their reunion in a small cafe was bittersweet joy at reconnection shadowed by uncertain futures. "I've put you in danger," she murmured against his shoulder. "You've given me purpose," he corrected, holding her close. "Something worth fighting for?" Later, walking through twilight streets, Dominic confessed his own fears. "I've never felt this way before," he admitted. "The thought of losing you?" Their kiss held newfound urgency, awareness of precious, fragile time. When they reached his apartment, no words were needed. Their bodies spoke what their hearts already knew. Finding in each other's arms the home both had sought for so long, dawn found them entwined. Nadia's head on Dominic's chest, his fingers tracing patterns on her bare shoulder. "Whatever comes," he promised, "we face it together." But reality intruded with brutal swiftness. That afternoon, Lena called with alarming news. Someone from Nadia's past had filed a counterclaim against her asylum petition, claiming she had collaborated with the regime she fled. Who would do this? Dominic demanded. Nadia's face drained of color. "Resnick," she whispered. "He betrayed many of us, turned informant to save himself. If he's here, claiming asylum himself, then he needs to discredit you," Dominic realized. "Because your testimony could expose him." The shadows they thought they'd escaped had followed, threatening to engulf their newfound happiness. As Nadia's hearing date approached, the question loomed, could love truly overcome the ghosts of their pasts? The community hall buzzed with activity. Garden members, restaurant colleagues, and even regular customers from places Nadia had worked gathered to prepare for her asylum hearing. Evidence, mounted photographs, testimonials, documentation of her integration and contributions. "You've touched more lives than you realized," Dominic observed. Watching the volunteers with amazement, Nadia's eyes misted. "I never expected to belong anywhere again." Lena arrived with crucial news. "We've located former students who escaped to neighboring countries. They're providing video testimonials about your resistance activities, refuting Resnick's claims." The hearing itself was grueling. Nadia testified for hours, reliving trauma she'd tried to bury. When Resnick appeared, smugly confident, her hands trembled until Dominic's steady gaze anchored her. The community filled the gallery. Silent support through the ordeal. When Resnick's inconsistencies began to unravel under Elena's questioning, hope flickered. His final desperate accusation that Nadia had been romantically involved with the regime. Official backfired when records proved she had been imprisoned during the alleged relationship. The truth, Alina had promised, is our strongest weapon. 2 agonizing weeks later, the decision arrived. Nadia clutched the official letter, tears blurring the words granting her asylum. "We did it," Dominic whispered, enfolding her in his arms. "You're safe." That evening, the garden bloomed with celebration. Lanterns hung from trees, tables overflowed with food, and music filled the air. Nadia moved through the crowd, accepting congratulations. "Still disbelieving?" "I have something for you," Dominic said. drawing her aside to the rose pavilion where they'd shared their first kiss. From his pocket, he produced a small silver key. "What's this?" she asked. "The apartment above the bookshop on Maple Street," he explained. "I've rented it for us. If you want," Nadia's breath caught. "You're asking me to live with you?" "I'm asking for more than that," Dominic said softly, dropping to one knee. A simple ring glinted in his palm, a band of silver with a small emerald. "I'm asking you to build a home with me, Nadia, to face whatever comes together." Under the same stars that had witnessed her loneliest nights, Nadia found herself speechless with joy. From homeless refugee to beloved partner journey, neither had imagined when they met on that park bench. "Yes," she finally whispered, voice thick with emotion. "Yes to home. Yes to us." As friends cheered their engagement, Dominic spun her in a dance of pure happiness. Later they slipped away to walk familiar streets, now transformed by their shared future. "Do you remember what you told me that first night?" Nadia asked, her head on his shoulder. "That one night is how all new beginnings start." Dominic smiled, kissing her forehead. "I had no idea how right I was." In a city that had once felt so cold and foreign, they had found not just shelter, but belonging. Not just kindness, but love. And in each other's arms, they had finally found their way home.